I don't make videos for entertainment. I make videos to comment. Yes. Yes. It's a brilliant, anointed ones. Brilliance isn't loud. It's lethal in silence and courage that doesn't be seen. It changed the atmosphere just by walking in and let that sink in. You didn't become remarkable because you honor a plot, because truth start leaking out of your ports. And whether you like it or not, they're watching you. You're a wild fact, a recent psychology study that people are most threatened not by those who boast, by those who radiate and unshakable conviction. Translation, you. And why you're out here trying to mind your chosen business. Someone's losing sleep wondering how your mind works, how you survive what's meant to bury you, and why everything you touch turn into revelation. Yes. It is kind of admiration that has a little fear mixed with a lot of fascination. Because you don't follow the rules of the Matrix. You don't need a stage to be impactful. Your brilliance is the kind that turns heads without trying. And your courage? It makes cowards break into dance just to distract from the guilt. You don't say much, but when you move, heaven whispers and say, watch this, buckle up. Yes. We're not just talking about the intelligence of the chosen and fearlessness. Why we walk, why you walk, why prophecy and motion, why energy rewrites rooms. Even those who mocked you, now mirroring you in secret. Let's get into the real reason why what you do is brilliant and why they can't stop. Even if their pride didn't let them admit. You master the art of holding truth. Terrifies the masses. Just knows things. You see through them. That's what makes your intelligence so powerful. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about the fact that you can walk into a room and sense what's been hidden, what's not being said, and who's lying to themselves just to keep the peace. You notice energy shifts before anyone even open their mouth. And when you speak, it's not to impress, it's to expose. And that right there, that's what rattles people. That's why they stare at you a little longer than usual when they watch their words around you. They copy your way of thinking and pretend it's theirs. Like it's printed in boldness. Your truth telling is not always verbal. It's in your eyes, your silence, your reactions that say more than a 10-minute speech ever could. And the scariest part for most people, you're rarely wrong. Your intuition is so refined, your perception is sharp, and even if you don't have a proof, you got feeling unfold to reality. You know who's genuine, who's faking it, who's wounded, and who's using charm to cover control. You decode people like a living polygraph text, and that brilliance, it's not learned from books, it's earned from betrayal, observation, and staying quiet long enough to learn. And he can't explain that. They call it wise beyond your years or scary accurate, but deep down they stunned how you can move through life, seeing through illusion that others get trapped in. That's not just intelligent, that's spiritual clarity. That's why some people watch you. You hold the truth that is too heavy, too many people to carry it, but you carry it without making a show out of it. It's intimidating, no doubt, because you don't just have knowledge, you have knowing. And that kind of knowing doesn't just make you brilliant, it makes you unforgettable. That's what they really low-key obsessed with, and that's why they never forget how it felt when you looked them in the eye and saw everything. You turn chaos into patterns. When other get lost in the storm. You don't panic when life get messy. You process when everyone reacted, reaching for distractions. Your mind already dissecting the situation like a puzzle. You see pattern and chaos. You pick up on what caused the storm, not just how loud it is. That's a rare gift, and most people don't even realize they're witnessing it when they watch you. No, everything falling apart. You somehow manage to keep your head, your soul, and your sense intact. And that's not luck. That brilliance, rooted in inner structure. Yes, the mind ain't just wired to survive, it's wired to understand. You don't settle for surface answers. You notice the repeat cycles, the spiritual timing of things. While others see coincidence, you see alignment. When they see delay, you see divine redirection. And that shifting of perception is what separates you. It's not just intelligence, it's consciousness. And that what makes people admire you, even if they can't keep up with how your mind work up. You trained yourself through years of struggle to stay calm while others lose themselves. You ask better question. You don't want to just fix the fire. You want to know who lit the fire, why it's burning, and how not to let it consume you. That kind of insight doesn't come from textbooks. It comes from pain, patience, and spiritual maturity. It's why people come to you when everything feels like it's collapsing. Because your presence feel like order in the middle of disorder. What you do subtle, what most missing. Ones who are paying attention, they know your brilliant isn't loud and flashy. It's how you connect the dots that no one else see, how you read between the moment, how you hear what wasn't said, and you still walk with empathy. Yes, what's not normal. It's not about what people say. It's not about what people. It's what they don't say. Abnormal. What's abnormal is a gift. It's terrifying for those who live in denial. You're not just intelligent, you're built for revelation. And that's why even your silence during chaos feels like leadership. Deep down, they know. Calm, they wish they could be. Resilience is in the way you weaponize your pain. You didn't just go through pain, you studied it. You felt every inch of the heart rate, betrayal, abandonment, and confusion. And instead of letting it harden you, you learned from it. You didn't turn your wounds into weapons to harm innocent people. You turned them into wisdom, boundaries, and discernment and depth. That's why your presence carry. That's why your presence carry weight. They can't explain it. Yes, you're intentional. You've been through enough to know how it feels to be torn down and to refuse to become a kind of person who does the tearing. How you carry your scars with power, not pity, is what actually making you ranking in the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm, you become a general not by your stars, by your scars, by how you carry them. Yes. People doing you wrong doesn't mean you should turn around and do people wrong. You detach from that cycle, and you turn around and you do opposite what others done to you. That's how you level up. Peace, love, and light.